we have Chiara Barbera as our speaker today. And Chiara's all the way over in Italy. So sometimes she's in Italy, sometimes she's in Brisbane. At the moment, she's over in Italy. And she's flown all the way in to be our speaker today. Now, there's a reason why I've picked Chiara. This was planned at the end of last year, but we finally get to pull it into action now. Welcome aboard, Chiara. And I feel like it's part of like a morning show, you know, like, oh, here she is. She's come from Italy and, you know, sitting on the couch. A number of years ago, show of hands for those, I mean, I can't technically see, but that's beside the point. Who remembers a number of years ago, or who was here a number of years ago when we had Liesl Addercoat, who did from the Chili Chick Shop? Anne Zimmerman would have been around for that. Debbie Barker was around for that. Jacqueline would have been around for that, definitely. So we had a woman who did, she made chili products, you know, like really great chili products. And we decided to have the Great Chili Tasting. So with the Great Chili Tasting, it was, for those who wanted to participate, it cost them $25. I sent $25 to Liesl, and Liesl would send a chili product to eat the people who were participating. And they had to either ask her questions, how do we use it, or how can, you know, or then work out some recipes to put these products into it, or just taste it cold on the day. So Glenn Kirkwood was the host at the time. So I was running the background and Glenn was me, basically, for the meeting. And turns out Glenn doesn't do hot products, but he was sent the hottest of all the hot sauces. And then he was going to try it cold in front of the group. And without thinking, he took the lid off and gone, oh, there's sauce there. And then licked the inside of the lid. And his head just about burst into flames. And he had this entire tub of like Greek yogurt next to him that he was like chowing down like, oh my God, what have I just done? And we all watched it happen. It was all pretty funny. But then we ended up with this big chat about all the different chili products and how we use them, and for the group to discuss different ways to use chili. So my thought was we should have an Italian experience, in that Chiara does Italian experiences, but she has this fantastic website called Experience Assaggio, which teaches you how to cook the traditional way with her nonni, which is basically her Italian grandmothers. Not just her 4 Italian grandmothers, but then also, or all of her Italian grandmothers, but then also her surrogate Italian grandmothers that she has collected along the way. And I've had this membership since I met Chiara like 3 years ago, and it is so much fun to be in the kitchen and cook with them, because they half speak Italian and half speak Australian, and she's there with them, and it's a fun experience in the kitchen. And then of course you have this big Italian meal at lunch, like I have Sunday lunch, so then we do a Sunday lunch. I recommend lunches. So I thought we should do this. So we'll get Chiara in. She can tell us about Experience Assaggio, and then we can ask her a bunch load of questions. And for those who want to participate, they only have to sign up. It's $11 a month, and you just sign up to the website and then start testing out some of these recipes. And over the next 4 weeks, different ones of us are going to try these recipes and then come in and tell us of our Italian experience with Chiara, and what we've tried and how it all worked or didn't work, or you know, who we invited over, and if we grabbed anyone from the street, and how that all came about. So Chiara, things that I know about Chiara: she's currently over in Italy. She's Italian heritage. Her whole premise in life is to promote
save traditions.
To save the Italian traditions, you know, like when all of our elders go, who's going to take on the next thing? If anyone's seen them, no, I'll get there in a minute. So with that, Chiara, I'm just going to say, you take it away. You give us, here's what I want you to do, because you've got to get the same rules as everybody else. We want your elevator pitch, telling us what you sell, and the history story of how this thing came about. How did you end up creating this thing to sell? And then stop talking so that we can ask you questions.
Okay, sounds good. Well, I'll begin by putting the website in the chat. So if everyone could just open it up so you can visualize what I'm talking about, because sometimes I say lots of words and when you see it, it's a completely different experience. So has everyone had a chance to click on that?
I'm just clicking on it now and just making sure. Everyone just give us a thumbs up if you're able to open it up. I'm on Chrome, so I have to press extra buttons.
Debbie. Perfect. Perfect. All right.
Okay. I've got it somewhere else. Here we go. Yes, I'm all open. Yeah, seems to be working. All right, cool.
Brilliant. So my name is Chiara Barbera from Experience Assaggio, and I'm an Italian experience expert. I sell Experience Assaggio membership, and it costs $11 a month. The people who buy it want to experience a taste of Italy with adorable Nonni, which means grandparents in Italian. That is the history of the Nonni, the Italian grandparents, because I'm a granddaughter of 4 Italian immigrants that flew all the way over to Australia, and I've come all the way back to Italy. And essentially, they instilled this love of the culture and the traditions in me, and this little fire kind of lit inside of me, and I just knew that I had to do something to keep their traditions and keep their memories alive, especially because in many cultures that share recipes, the recipe when it's written, it never quite turns out the same. So I decided that I would make it my mission to record videos of them as they go through step-by-step experience, sharing with you their recipes in the way, so when Nonna says just add a little bit of salt, you know that it's not a little bit, it's like a whole handful of salt. And it was literally a way to capture the fact of every little nuance. And then in addition to that, Assaggio was born, Experience Assaggio, the platform, to kind of share that journey. So then when people want to learn how to cook Italian and spend time with cute Nonni, you basically press play, and you kind of just get carried away by listening to their stories as they cook along and following their steps. Misty's had an interesting experience where there was too many instructions and she ended up throwing everything into the pot. That was probably my favorite experience shared. And you know, she said it turned out well. Is that right, Misty?
Yeah, I was cooking with Jack, and we were doing the meatballs and the tomato sauce and spaghetti, and I'd say to Jack, and I've got flour everywhere, and I'm like, Jack and I are in the kitchen, and so Jack was all of, what is he, 15 now? So he was probably 13 when we first had tried this, and we've got the iPad there, and I'm like, okay, so she's talking, we're watching, and we're going, okay, so we're doing this. Okay, go back, rewind that, Jack. Okay, rewind that, Jack. Okay, I think we've got it. No, I did miss a bit. Rewind that. He goes, just throw it all in. We'll see what it tastes like, and we'll fix it the next time. And I've gone, let's do that. And I have to say, it was one of those very rare meals where I sat down and Jack's, I think, Noah had said, these meatballs are amazing, whereas in the past, that is not his thing that he would go after. And Jack's gone, oh my God, the sauce is so good. And I've gone, well, between the two of you, we've got it covered. And I've just got, you can make this dish again. Now, as a mother, that's like music to your ears. And I have to say, I did try it again, not that long ago. I've gone, I remember most of that. Turns out meatballs without the recipe doesn't work out very well for me, but the sauce is great. But I missed many ingredients in the meatballs.
I must add, the fact that you didn't follow the recipe, I'm going to throw a little bit of spice, pardon the pun, on the last challenge into this challenge. Misty has reached Nonna level. Basically, she didn't follow the recipe. She just kind of went with her own instinct, and that's Nonna level. Whether it works or not is it just takes practice. So I'm going to throw that out, and whoever in the group manages to perfect the recipe without looking at the recipe card will throw in a prize at the end if you reach Nonna level.
I love it. I love it. I do find with the recipe cards, just for those who have known Chiara for a while, by any chance, is anyone else, are they on Experience Assaggio? Have they ever tried any of this? No, because there's not many of us, because we're all so new over the last couple of years, right? So the first time I opened up a recipe card, I've gone, all right, no problems. We're going to do the meatballs and spaghetti sauce. All right, no problems at all. Let me just find the ingredients, and then what are the amounts? What are the amounts? Why does it say just what are the amounts? Like, I'm like, oh no, what do I do? And so I was like, so I didn't understand that. I ended up calling Chiara. That's the bonus of us knowing Chiara personally, is we get to just ask her, what does this mean? But she said that's the point of Italian cooking, is you just need the ingredients. And then along the way, you get taught how much or how to put it in, and whether the volume amount is as important as the taste of the ingredient in the first place. And you kind of just learn that along the way. So what I love most about this idea that you have, Chiara, is back when I was 20, so just turned 49, right? So 30 years ago, I was watching TV, flipping channels, and there was this documentary on Italian Sunday lunches. And I'm going, oh, I could get into this. So basically, it was a whole hour documentary on how how Italians put together a Sunday lunch and how they start first thing in the morning. And it's like everybody in the family comes over and then they start baking things or cooking things. And by lunchtime, at 12 or 1 o'clock, they've been setting out tables outside, and then they will sit down to this massive long table. And if anyone's walking down the street, they just come in for lunch. They just pull people in. And then you have this like huge lunch. And then after you've had this wonderful time chatting and eating, you go off for a siesta because, quite frankly, you've overeaten and it's great, but it's only like the one meal. And then later, hunt down some dessert that's already been previously set together. And I'm going, I love that idea for an entire day. I think that is brilliant. So I've always wanted to do that. Of course, I can't say everybody that I live with thinks that an entire day of grazing is up their alley. But I mean, it's no different to going to a family barbecue, right? You start at lunchtime and you really don't leave until, 12 o'clock at night. That's all that it is. And I'm going, I think it's great. And then Chiara came along and I'm going, well, you've just given me that whole space on how to do that as well. So I love that. And it's a bit like has anyone seen the movie The Way? With it's from the Camino de Santiago trail, like the Pilgrim Trail from France down to Spain, right? And so Ellen has, and basically all the pilgrims, so all the people that walk, they start at France, they walk, all they're walking, it takes weeks for them to end up down the bottom of Spain on this trail. But along the way, they stop at whatever town that they stop at, they go and they stay at somebody's house. So all the like the villagers basically open their house up to the pilgrims for somewhere for them to sleep. Some have beds set up, some is just like take a patch of ground on the ground, on the carpet. And there's sections in the movie where you see that the host will have all these tables outside and the pilgrims come and then they just sit down and they share their experience of the walk so far or that particular day, and someone will bring some bread and someone will bring some cheese, and the host will bring out some stuff and someone will bring wine, and just sharing that whole talk. Again, that movie made me think of Italy and what it seems like it's like over in Italy. Then of course Chiara comes along and I've gone, what a great way to like live once a week is to just have that sort of lunch.
I think one of the most beautiful parts about it is also like it's about disconnecting to really just be present and just do something. And I always used to say like allocate like a morning and be like, okay, this morning I'm just gonna like make a recipe with one of the nonnas. And I think that's the most beautiful part, is it's all about that kind of like slow kind of cultural enjoyment.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Who has some questions for Chiara about Experience Assaggio and about the website and what you can learn from it? Ellen, you're on mute.
So Chiara, do you ever do like come to Italy and experience this in person?
Ellen, I definitely do. I can help with that.
Okay. So you do like in person, come and learn cooking and blah 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 with your grandmother?
Yep. I have a whole other website that I'd be happy to share with you that is basically focused on that as well.
Cool. I would love to see that. Thank you.
I was asking her just yesterday. I said, how many experiences you have? She said 190. You can be a shepherd, Ellen, for a day and like round up sheep and be a shepherd for a day. All sorts of cool live experiences as well. Scott, you've got your hand up.
Yeah, just bruschetta. So you teach how to make a traditional bruschetta.
You know what, Scott? We do not have that experience on the website, but I will make it my personal mission to find a nonna that can deliver that. I actually have one in mind, yes. So the answer is not yet. I'll do it just for you.
Nice. She's got one on. Thank you. Excellent. She's got one on donuts, and I haven't been game enough to open that one and look at it. Simon's a baker, And I was asking Chiara, I said, do they fry the donut? She said, yeah, they do. And I'm like, really? Like deep fry it? And she said, no, just shallow fry. And I'm going, I'll pass it. All right, we'll test this one out we're going to test this one out on Sunday. Simon and the boys can do the donut side of it because it takes me over 2 hours to clean up the kitchen when Simon and the boys have done the deep frying, whatever it is, the exciting stuff. But Simon is a baker by trade. And so he makes these amazing donuts, but it's all deep fried. And I have to reboil the kitchen kettle like 4 times in order to, like wash down the grease from everywhere. So I don't want them touching this recipe. But anyhow, Chiara said that it's way easier than that for the cleanup afterwards. I know I'm testing out this weekend. What's it called, Chiara? What's your favorite recipe? Because I'm going to test that one out. Or what's one of the most popular?
I think the most popular is the polpetta and sugo, the meatballs and sauce, just because it's classic. But my personal favorite is the crumb steak, cotolette.
Yes. So I'm going to try that. I have avoided this one for 2 years, 3 years. I am not very good at cooking with crumbs. I will eat crumbs all day long. Like anything that's crumbs is amazing. But I avoid cooking it because every time my experience has been burn the outside, raw in the middle. And so I'm not very confident. However, if Simon's in the kitchen, Simon's a really good cook. Simon's in the kitchen and they're doing donuts, then maybe I can get a few lessons. But I believe in Chiara and her grandmother's being able to teach me this one. So I'm going to test that one out this weekend. And then you'll hear about it, but you'll hear more about it. Our big Italian experience is going to be the last week of March. So for those who want to have fun with this, get to test out some recipes and then jump in for the last week of March. Sandy, you've got your hand up.
Yes, I saw that Grandpa was on the website as well. So it's not just the Nonnas, correct?
Thank you for noticing. Yes, it's like my Nonni tribe. I've got like a whole tribe of like Italian grandparents. Most of them are related to me. Most of them I've adopted. It's a mixed bag.
It's beautiful, and it looks like that somebody has an amazing garden as well. So you have like farm to table.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for noticing, Sandy.
Excellent. Roger, you got your hand up?
Yes. I'm interested in whether she has really good hints on how to clean the kitchen up after doing all this stuff.
I have not considered whether we should do an experience on cleaning the kitchen. I'll think about it. Thank you, Roger. You've given me some food for thought.
My reasoning is this, is everybody over a long period of time, grandmothers certainly came across ideas about making things easier. And so it would be nice to plumb or reach out to the older folks and find out how they made it easier to do what they're doing and clean up afterwards.
I love this.
Do they get the younger folk to do it? Or do they just leave the younger folk out of it because they're like, I'll just do it? Because I'm curious now too. I know how I do it. And on Sunday lunches, I work my hardest to go, you know what, we're all here together and we're all involved together. So we all have to do something together. That's part of the experience. So, however, Roger, from that perspective, and then Chiara, I'll give you the floor, but from that perspective, I'm thinking that's part of the experience. If we, for those who want to test out this whole experience Assaggio and test some of this Italian cooking stuff and have the lunch and do however we put it all together, dinner party, however it might be, is that we think about that as well. What's the cleanup on the other side? And that becomes part of what we'll discuss in a month's time as well, how we ended up cleaning up afterwards. Did we get help? Did we do it along the way? Did we just leave it to the end? Did we leave it to 4 days later? Because we had a lot of trouble.
And Roger, if they get into mold, I'm sure we can call on you. We can do collaboration.
Yeah, if you've left it for too long, we're going to call Roger in. So
we'll collaborate.
Yeah, I love it. But yeah, there you go. Hints for cleaning up. That'd be interesting.
That's good.
All I can say is that, yes, I've had moldy stuff and I've thrown out many things because it got moldy. But, the other thing is I really am a foodie. I really like and collect recipes from all over the world about all kinds of things. So I'd also be interested, you have a lot of things about bakeries doing baking, breads and things like that?
Yeah, we definitely do. We have bread, like biscuits, the traditional savoiardi, and then donuts as well. You'll find a whole variety.
Okay, I've got you up and I'll look at it carefully. Thank you.
Excellent.
And I'll be scouting Nonni for cleaning tips now. This is good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Scott, you've got your hand up, and then we'll go to Tommy.
Yeah. So again, do you have any videos on pastrami, especially pork pastrami, cured pork?
What is pastrami?
I
Because
love it.
pastrami is
I love it.
American. Salami? Is that what you're trying to say? Salami?
No, it's a cured pork. They use beef
Okay.
sometimes.
We have
It isn't
a
the same
sausage.
dish.
We have a sausage experience. So Nonno Franco teaches you his Sicilian sausage recipe, and it's quite famous. He taught the local butcher in Brisbane how to make Sicilian sausages. And now this butcher has been making Sicilian sausages ever since. So yes, that's a good one.
Is it Tony? Is it Tony? I think I know what it is.
Sorry?
Is his name Tony?
In Brisbane?
The gentleman he taught. Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to ask him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, do
There's
that.
a guy.
I will. I'll ask.
Yeah, that'd be cool. All right,
I'll buy off
Tommy.
him. It's beautiful.
Tommy, you got your hand up?
Yeah, I wanted to know, there's another couple that's in Calabria. They do pasta grammar, the YouTubers. Have
Yes.
you, I don't know if Calabria is small enough to where you bump into each other or not, but just curious.
Unfortunately not. It's funny you mentioned that. I did reach out to them a couple of weeks ago. So yes, I'm hoping they'll respond. But yes, they're great. But they're further south.
Ah, okay. But I love the fact that both you and they are trying to I just maintain the traditions. So I think last one of the videos he's trying to fix one of their it's a grinding mill. So
Oh, there you go.
pretty
That's
interesting.
Okay.
For grinding flour and stuff.
Yeah. Thanks, Tommy.
But I'd love to see, love to see you on their YouTube, or at least, to at least report back.
If you like, I always find that when I contact them, they're like, yeah, whatever. But from a fan, they're always more open. So if you'd like, feel free to send them a message and say, hey, like, I'd love to see, you guys collaborate on a video together.
Collab, right?
Awesome. Yeah, I would love that. So yes, thank you. Feel free to.
Who is it, Tommy?
The names are Eve and the YouTube is called Pasta Grammar. Eve and Harper is a couple that's they're, I guess he met her in Calabria or in Italy, and then they were here in the States for a while. So it's interesting that they went through a lot of like Italian tries Twinkies for the first time. So it's like one of these like weird, like, but then now they moved back to Calabria. So
there you go.
Okay.
Yes,
So
no, they're a cool couple, and they put this really random town. This is what I appreciate most about them. They put this really random town on the map. They've got like, I saw that in one video. They had like a sweatshirt, and they had like the name of the town on as well. They're the ones. Is that right, Tommy? Oh, I think you're
on mute.
They're almost putting Calabria on the map, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yes, no, it is. It's cool.
Very quickly before we finish up, has anyone seen Nonnas on Netflix, the movie Nonnas? So I watched that at Christmas time, right? And then I've gone, oh my God, it's Chiara. Like, it's what they've done over there. And basically it's the story of an Italian lad whose mum had passed away, but they would have these Sunday lunches, big Italian Sunday lunches. And his mum had passed away and his grandmother had already passed away, and he just missed them and their meals, and he wanted to put something together to remember them and the Italian traditions and the food. And so the story is him starting a restaurant. And I watch it from a sales trainer's point of view going, okay, so I can see exactly why you didn't get the customers initially that you were after, all the things you could have done that you didn't do. But ultimately, it was about getting Italian grandmothers to come in and cook for the town, right? And how that turns out. And it's now a very famous place over in New York. And I think it's on Staten Island, not entirely sure, but I think it's across anyhow. But don't really know that area too much. I don't live there, but ultimately it was great. But what I got most out of it, there's a particular recipe that he's trying to work out what the ingredient was. And upon watching it and him finding out what it is at the end and how he ended up finding out, and he's like, oh my God, that's the ingredient. And watching that movie, I've gone, oh, that's exactly what it is. With the way that Chiara's Nonni and like teach you how to do it, how to cook, like that's exactly the thread that falls back through experience Assaggio, learning to cook with the Italian grandparents, and how they kind of just chuck things in, and they really do cook based off flavor. And he was trying to work out this one flavor. And so highly recommend watch that, and you'll see exactly what Chiara is trying to do. They do it in restaurant form. She's doing it in a we get to try it out form as well.
We'll bring it to your kitchen.
Yeah, to your own kitchen. Yeah. So thank you everybody for coming to Business at Breakfast today. Thank you, Chiara, for being our speaker today, and everybody
Thank you so much.
being part
Thank
of
you,
this.
everyone.
You are so welcome. So our big Italian experience is going to be the last week of February, last week of March. So we've got about 4 weeks, 5 weeks to really jump onto her website and really start playing with these recipes over the next few weeks and testing a few things out, and then coming back, and we're going to have this big discussion. Chiara's going to be in, but we get to ask some questions for fine tuning, but we're really going to have this discussion about what each one of us tried, what worked, what didn't, how it turned out, what other people thought, the cleaning of the kitchen. I love that idea, Roger. And how that all turned out as well. And we'll have a big Italian experience at the end of March.